Welcome to the Go Grava channel. In today's episode, we're going to be looking specifically at Tern's HSD, kind of a cargo bike, or what I like to call a car replacement possibility out there. And I got this bicycle specifically from Tern because we recently did the Airstream Festival, which I did a video about, where we were selling the Vectron and the HSD branded in that Airstream color on the Tern bike. So we're going to be using this one HSD that I acquired from Tern that's sitting in our bike shop and give it a review. So before we do that, I'm just letting you know that this is not a sponsored post. I have the HSD here. Tern's not paying me to do this. I just discovered something when I test rode this for the first time at the Tern or the Airstream Festival, that this was kind of an amazing bike. They kind of had an amazing ride. So let's talk about it. So what makes this HSD so unique, and why would anybody ever want to pay $5,000 for an e-bike? Well, I got to tell you something here. When you upgrade your components to Bosch motor systems, mid-drive motor systems, Bosch batteries, Bosch control units, and not only that, you stack it onto a Tern frame that is really well welded. This thing has a 398-pound weight capacity, gross weight capacity. I mean, it is next level when you ride it. And not only that, this is what I call a 10-year e-bike, because I have literally seen these Bosch motors and batteries last 8 to 10 years. So while you may spend a lot of money in the beginning on an e-bike like this, if you bought something cheaper, you're going to buy it 5 or 6 times over and still not have as great an e-bike as you have here. Because we're even running a Gates belt CDX drive system right down here. So take a look. So we got a Shimano Nexus hub in the back, which is internal shifting on that CDX belt drive right there. And those Gates belts last a really, really long time. And not only that, they're not gonna muck up your hands, or just the maintenance is just bare minimal with this stuff. Now, I have to be honest, I'm using this, you see this right here, it's an X5, 360 X5. That's really why I'm gonna do this video, is because I wanna take this X5 out and actually use it and see how filming and editing with the X5 on this HSD from Tern turns out. So let's go ahead and take a ride from the shop. We need to get some supplies. I need some Diet Cherry Coke, and I need some energy drinks, and I need some snacks in the shop. We've ran out. We got 2 37-liter pannier bags in the back. We're gonna ride it down the road to a local store, do some grocery shopping, get some really heavy items, and show how this might actually, at times, replace your vehicle. I haven't set this up for myself yet. Power on, and I'm using the Intuvia system from Bosch, and it's got this kiosk display, so I can talk about some of these capabilities here, which are really cool. And 0 miles on this thing, so let's get some miles on it. Whoa. Need to fix my seat. I guess we're gonna get a view of traffic, how much traffic we got to deal with here. All right, it's a Monday. So I'm curious how this video is going to work out with the 360 on the handlebars. It is going to move quite a bit. I may have to move it when I get to the grocery store and put it in a different position, just as it is shaking quite a bit. So the Bosch system, I'm always a huge fan of Bosch. You know, in some aspects they're not the flashiest, at least when it comes to displays, but this comes with a display that can come off the Tern bicycle, and it's for security reasons. But the Intuvia display and this Bosch system I'm using here, you can use an app. Whoa. And so you connect your app to the system. You can set your power profiles and make them a bit more responsive or different. You can register the system through Bosch through the app, and then get a GPS working on your bike, and you can get an alarm system working with your bike, so you can take off the little display that comes with this bike because it's removable, because you have one system here which is the how you make your adjustments. Then you have a display screen, and then you can also probably mount your phone over here and get a GPS map and all that stuff. So you can get a lot of stuff going on your cockpit, at least on the handlebars of your bike. I hate this bridge. Cars always want to pass quickly. So the question is, can I use a bicycle to replace my car? Now I say yes, 100%. For 3 months, from March, April, and May, I did not use my vehicle. I was commuting because I had no choice, really, because the transmission went out my truck, and it was totally achievable to not have a vehicle. You can ride in the rain, you can ride in the cold, you can ride in the wind, and riding with an e-bike like this is just so comfortable. The front shock on the HSD just makes the ride so comfortable. It's a little bit more extended than you normally have with some of the smaller ones, like the Vectron or the Quick Haul. And so when I got on this at the Airstream Festival, I found it to be super, super comfortable. And because this HSD has a 398-pound weight capacity, you can put a lot of groceries in the back of the panniers here, or even in the front rack down below, or have a basket on top of it, or have another medium-sized human. So we got to find somewhere to lock this up. Maybe we'll lock it to this pole, maybe? Let's see if we can do that. So with the HSD, I think this is the P5i, it comes with an A-bus lock in the rear, which is, goes through the spokes. And I'm just gonna do that now, but it also has something special, which is like a cable lock. And I need to see which side it's on. And the cable lock's on this side. So I'm going to move the bike around. We're going to go right next to, actually let's go over to this pole. It's not quite as thick as the other one. Now I did something else with my HSDs. I put a center kickstand down. If you're really going to load it up, like I prefer the center kickstand, but a key will always remain in here in the lock when you're riding it. So you just got to remember to take the second key off. So when you're riding it and you're around town and stuff, the key always stays in the A-bus lock. And nope, I didn't put the cable lock, but you got to see this cable lock. So we have a kryptonite lock here that works with this A-bus system, and basically we're going to run it around the pole like this, and then we put it right in this hole here to lock it in place, and then we push down our locking mechanism and turn the key. That puts it through the wheel frame, and then the only thing I think I have to do left here is turn it off, and then I'm going to remove my, I don't think anybody's going to mess with that. I'm not going to be in for that long. All right, what do you need at a bike shop? Snacks. Cashews, yes please. It's like a health food store here. Hawaiian habanero chips. Where's the Diet Cherry Coke? Man, this sucks. I don't think this health food store sells any soda. Okay, you think as a bike shop I'd have healthier stuff to snack on, but I kind of don't. Like, maybe I could do better at it, but I'm just about to return everything because, man, you don't have Cherry Coke. Hold on. I might have found it. I'm getting out of touch, I think. At least I'll put my stuff back. You don't have Cherry Coke, we're not doing business. Well, at least I put everything back. Come on. No Cherry Coke. No Cherry Coke. No bueno. All right. We are going to go to Wawa. Actually, I'm not going to go to Wawa. I'm going to go to... Okay, we're pedaling again. And see, I don't even have the e-bike going right now. And you could totally pedal this thing without the power. But we like power. Now, this is all kind of weird for me a little bit because I feel like I should have a backpack on or something. So I feel a little bit naked here. But yeah, we're going to kind of cruise right over the bridge. And so an e-bike gives you a little bit extra power on these sections where it just doesn't feel super safe. And at least going a little bit faster up these hills gives you a sense of safety. I don't know if it's safer, but a sense of safety. Yeah, the Shimano Nexus hub seems to be enough, you know, gear shifting here to get you going. And the belt drive is just super, super smooth. I'm going to cut, shortcut. One of the great things about riding an e-bike is it gets you outside, experiencing things outside of a vehicle, like the air, the sound of the birds. You can hear the wind, you can smell the trees. You know, you really miss all of that in a car. And I can feel right now, even though there's cars all around, just my sense of well-being, you know, being outside like this is just so much better. I feel so much better. And when I can commute or do things without using my vehicle, I mean, I really try to. I should have been in better gear there. So that Nexus is a little poppy when you're in the wrong gear. And you got to gear down a bit or gear up, however you say it. But you know what I mean, when you need an easier gear and you forgot you're in that fast gear and you got to shift up. So the Nexus got a little poppy there. So I have to remember to shift a bit more, at least a couple clicks down before I stop. There's a guy coming at us on a BMX head on. What I like about these Bosch motors is how natural this feels pedaling. I mean, this does feel very natural, unlike the rear motors. And you can feel the torquiness on it. And there's just nothing in my shop that we sell that operates as well as these Tern bikes do. Hence the higher price point. I mean, for a cargo bike, and it's not really cargo, but you know what I mean, a longer bike, lower center of gravity, this is really a comfortable ride. I'm really enjoying this. All right, let's talk about different e-bikes before we get to Redner's up here, grocery store. A lot of people get the rear motor drive bikes, and you can find like pretty cheap ones online for, let's say, $1,000 or $600 or $1,300. And what I would say, as a bike shop that fixes everything, you do get what you pay for, only with a few exceptions. Like the other bikes I have that are in between that, say $16.99 and $19.99 range, are good bikes, but they're never going to be as good as these Bosch systems. You know, any bike that's got a Bosch motor system on it. And Bosch doesn't have a throttle, so that's kind of a turnoff for a lot of people, is not having that throttle, which I gotta tell you is convenient at times. When you have a throttle, you don't have to worry about shifting your gears. Like, you just throttle up the speed and then start pedaling. But if you're a person who wants to still pedal, who wants to have some semblance of feeling like this is still a natural bike ride, then these Bosch systems, these pedal assist e-bikes are absolutely fantastic. They feel very, very natural. One of the most natural feelings that you'll ever have for an e-bike. And just like that, I'm just getting miles down on the road here and having no issues with it whatsoever. Doing some crazy stuff. Let's go in front of Walmart. And so let's say you're a heavier person, you want to be more active, like these things are great. I mean, because you have to pedal and you get just a tiny bit of exercise, which totally helps. And it's still not that hard. We're not talking about super difficult things here. Let's see where I can lock my bike up. I don't see a bike rack anywhere in front of Redner's. I guess I'll lock it to the shopping cart thing. All right, here's my little kickstand. Turn the e-bike off. So we got 3.6 miles. My lock system. Again, I love this lock system because you just kind of loop it like this. Put it in the hole. Turn the key. And you are set. Not going anywhere. It's a mid-drive motor.
Yeah.
Just there's like a little gremlin in there that helps you pedal.
Okay.
And then the battery's here, and then you get these this company Tern that makes these bikes. They
Really
they have
neat tote bags,
yeah, they got,
oh my gosh, look at that.
look at the
thing.
size of that thing. So yeah,
I could work for Grubhub when it
I know.
was
Well, it has this thing has like a 400 pound weight capacity, so I could actually put a seat here, maybe do an Uber. Which
not just quality, you know.
it's, yeah, this is a 10, what I call a 10-year e-bike. It
Yeah.
this one's just gonna last forever.
Bike anymore.
Well, this is, I don't seem to have a problem with it, I guess.
I live out 183. It's just horrible.
Yeah. Oh, the
I'm gonna
183.
get on this thing. I'll tell you the truth.
The 183 is rough.
Oh my.
So I got my little kickstand.
Yeah,
So the weight's back there. It's got a low center of gravity.
What do you do? Just
Yeah, I just roll it forward.
Oh, and then it rolls itself
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, look at that. Super easy.
Well, you have a safe trip home.
Yep.
That's really neat.
And I got to get my lock undone. Yeah. This is like my little mini horse now.
Yep. Except you don't have to feed it year round.
True.
Very expensive. You have a good ride home.
All right, thank you. All right, get to the Walmart parking lot here. As you can see, there are a lot of people out. You know, people do love seeing new e-bikes, and I think like Tern, like this Reading area, Wyomissing or whatever, is wide open for Tern. We just got to get more people out on these turns, or having a Tern event, or do something, because this bike is pretty amazing. Now, my demographic is a bit more sensitive to price point. I think so. You know, spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on an e-bike, it can be difficult for the average person. God, I got a ton of stuff. So if you saw me when the lady was talking to me, I basically loaded up 2 half cases of Diet Cherry Coke, a case of Monsters, and a bunch of snacks Weighs quite a lot. And I made it nice and even. So when you load up pannier bags, the really important thing is that it's even. And so you're well balanced on the bike. I wouldn't want to put all the liquid, the sodas and stuff on the right side and then the potato chips on the left. But I got to tell you, this HSD, I mean, this thing is, the center of gravity is super low. That front shock really smooths out the road. I mean, this is amazing. Even loaded down, I feel completely in control of this bicycle. And you'd be surprised if you've never ridden a mid-drive like Bosch motor, how torquey and powerful they are. I mean, this thing is just getting me up this hill with all this extra weight like it's nothing, So I guess the last thing we're going to talk about, the difference between these rear motors and center drive motors, especially with Bosch, is noise level. With the CDX Gates belt drive and running a Bosch motor system here, especially here in traffic, is I don't hear anything, and that kind of really makes this experience of riding a bike, you know, you don't feel the weight, you don't feel unsafe, you don't hear the motor, which a lot of these other e-bikes, you know, they have some pretty loud motors on them, rear motors on them, and this thing is just, I hear the wind, I hear the traffic, I just don't hear the motor. It's near magical. And look at that, nice turn, underweight, at speed, and again, kudos to the Tern folks for making this such a well-balanced machine. I mean, I got 40 pounds of cargo on, and that turn felt as natural as any bike I'd ever been on, but I'm carrying all this extra weight. I mean, just great job on this. I wonder how long it took them to figure this out. Like what the right dimensions were. Like how many prototypes did Tern go through to figure out how to get this thing as responsive and natural as a bicycle could ever be, while carrying such a big old, you know, bunch of weight in the back in those panniers. Like I'd have confidence carrying 100, 150 pounds back on this bike. I mean, it just feels that natural. And so we're almost back to the shop. And so let me summarize this, you know. Does price point make a difference with e-bikes? Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, there's no other way to say it. $5,000 for the HSD to me is a freaking steal. For the amount of time I would actually use this bike, the amount of gas I would save, how well balanced it is, how comfortable the seat and the positioning is, how easy to use it is to use the belt drive, how easy it is to shift. I mean, it's a steal, I think, at $5 grand. The joy I get out of this and the utility would be just amazing. And we're back. So that was the Tern HSD P5i. First time riding it as it was intended to be ridden, as a cargo bike. And I've ridden a lot of different e-bikes and different cargo bikes in my life, and I can say without a doubt, this is probably the best and smoothest and most balanced ride I've ever had in my entire life. I need to get one of these for the bike shop so I can ride it home and back, because I live 6 miles away. Like, very, very confident with the cargo hold 37. You would have 74 liters of pannier space. You could put a big old rack on the back to carry even more, and would be super confident in every turn and in almost every situation. Turn. Yeah, interesting play on words. But I have to say, when I just test rode it at the Airstream Festival, I was like, wow, this is actually really comfortable. I gotta see how I can get this into my shop. Tern is allowing me to display this here, this Airstream model in the shop. And I gave it a test ride. This is something I secretly wanted to do. They didn't know I was gonna do this. And the only addition I made is I put a center kickstand down here instead of using the side kickstand. And I like this center kickstand much better. So this gets 6 out of 5 stars as far as a rating, as far as ratings go. And I gotta find some way to get more people on these bikes in the Reading area. I know the price point's a bit high, but you can put kids on the back here, up to 2 kids. You can put your dog back here. I mean, this thing is gonna last a very long time. It's very well built, and it would get more cars off the road. And when you're riding a bike like this, it just feels, on these nice days, just so much better to be outside, breathing in the fresh air, no distractions, and just riding along to the grocery store or going somewhere. I mean, I could even see taking this on a ride to a pub, meeting up with some friends, having, you know, 1 beer, and locking it up, and then coming out and riding home. Fantastic bike. So that's my review, everybody, of the HSD, Haul Stuff Daily, as they call it, or you could probably use a different word with the S in the middle there. I would love to try the GSD at some point if we ever get our hands on it. But as a new bike shop, it's hard to really buy a lot of expensive bikes and stock them in the shop because they move slower in my area. But I am just thankful I had this one here and I could actually ride it and load it up and see how it felt. So until we talk again, see you guys later.